Oh, we are eating good this year, ladies and gentlemen. So many amazing characters are dropping, which also means we get to download their free MMD models. We've learned so much from these things over the last year or so, but there is a problem. See, models are getting more advanced by the day, but the free versions that the devs release don't necessarily contain all of the new gadgets. That's okay, we'll still learn from what the devs willingly reveal, and I'll do my best to fill in the blanks for those secrets that are excluded from the free models. Strap in and let's go balls deep with our research today.
What?
Two here, and this is aemeath.
aemeath.
And she's a very important character, so naturally the devs went all out on her. Wuthering Waves models have steadily improved over the past year to the point where it's hard to imagine how they can even continue to optimize their art style. But somehow they always do. One thing people instantly noticed was the animation power creep, with her kit getting multiple animations whereas some older characters only have one. But it's not just about the quantity. The initial ult and skill animations are full of life while still snappy and flow naturally in combat. Then the finishing ult animation is more grand, with the additional impact frames, gigantic sword stab, and this radial effect on the final explosion. Not every game in the genre reinvests back into itself like this. Of course, unfortunately, you won't find this animation data in the free models. But what you will find is the model does come rigged, and the deformation bones are mostly weighted as they would be in-game. However, the rig isn't really ideal for Blender or game animations as it's specialized for MMD, in other words, dancing animations. But that doesn't mean you can't take anything from it. They often come with this simple but intuitive foot IK that could definitely be useful outside of dancing. Also pairs well with this hip control bone because it keeps the feet planted on the ground while the hips sway and do their thing. Oh. Oh, that's really good. R twice for free rotation. Then you can do R plus dimension to have it only move on one. Another neat thing they've got going on is this shoulder helper bone. So you can move it from the usual shoulder bone, but you can also move it from this. And when you do, you can see how it kind of syncs the arm movement with the shoulder movement, and that's really useful. If I make this shoulder bone not inherit the rotation, I can show you the mechanism that's going on behind this sorcery. So when you move this, actually counter moves the arm downwards on every axis, I think. Yeah. And it's an equal amount to how much this is rotating. So wherever it rotates, the arm goes along with it. I noticed this when making my thumbnail shot because if I move it, that's pretty useful because I can put the finger at the exact height I want just by moving the shoulder helper bone. Oh, by the way, if you're having trouble pronouncing her name, it's just aemeath.
I'm aemeath. aemeath.
And if you say aemeath imp 5 times really fast, you will hit on your next 10 pole. One area often missing in free models are various textures outside of the main textures. A common one being normal maps, which is basic knowledge to many, but these things are powerful and have a wide range of applications. So what these do is essentially allow a surface to simulate extra detail by altering how light reacts to it, while keeping the actual geometry unchanged. So here we can see at the back, right? This is without a normal map, and this is with a normal map. You can see that the lights and shadows kind of catch on to the shoulder blades a little bit more, as well as the center of the back. So it adds a layer of depth to the model, and is relatively lightweight. When you're up close at certain angles, it breaks the illusion. Wuthering Waves design is really good at knowing when to use normal map depth and how much of it to apply. Also goes really well with creases in the clothing. Without a normal map, there's literally nothing here going on in terms of clothing folds, and it makes a drastic change when it's introduced. The clothing fold is created by that altered lighting interaction. There's so many details this is used for, such as skin folds, clothing materials. Look at all those tiny material details that you can achieve with just a normal map. And don't worry, we'll have an upcoming clothing tutorial where we'll demonstrate how to make your own normal maps within Blender. Also present in-game but missing from the free model is the SDF face shadow texture, which is used for, well, the face shadows. Some in-game models have 70 plus total textures, with the MMD models usually cutting out half or more. A lot of them are dedicated special effect textures. I think the strip in the middle of this texture is used for their new hair highlights because of its iridescent hues and the slightly staggered setup of it. There's one for her Matrix waterfall effect, which they just mask out, and a handful of them for the heart display on her chest. These all did not ship with the MMD model. On that note, these unique visual effects have been that X factor for these 3.x characters for me. They add that spiciness. For example, we had Mornier's beautiful prosthetic legs. And now aemeath's digital ghost features like the glitching, the matrix cascade, and this infinity mirror-like heart. This is one of the precious details that unfortunately didn't make it to the free model. The inner hearts in-game have this parallaxed depth effect, but in the MMD model, it basically became a sticker. That's okay, the free model will always have limitations, and this is an opportunity to have some fun recreating it. The coloring will be a little off, but I just wanted to quickly try the visual effects. It's got the matrix cascading, as well as the inner parallaxing a little. It's really just the tacit mark. The cascading matrix letters I literally just subbed from the matrix. And yeah, you can easily plug in GIFs into your image textures. Just make sure to hit the play button. Just swapped out the colors, threw a lazy gradient on it. Then of course we have the inner heart image. That's displaced a little to create some fake depth. And we can just duplicate this setup 2 or 3 times and play with the offset of each one to our liking. And if I had a little more time, maybe a little more movement on the rings and the tacit mark itself. Yeah. Here's the whole node setup, and I'll link a video in the description where I learned the infinity mirror parallax thing. Alright, so chronic skip button user here, but whenever aemeath is on screen, I never skip. Reason being, they really stepped up cutscenes with these adorable and dynamic expressions, which are fortunately included in the free models. They're surprisingly quite generous with leaving in the shape keys. You can literally find a lot of the one-off faces that she makes in the cutscenes. Hey, yo! I saw this interesting shape key. Where is it now? Okay, here. At first glance, you might be wondering, why do they have this weird face? But this is actually a view-dependent face that's meant to be viewed from the right quarter angle. Right, I'm sure you've seen a mouth that's drawn like in this shape, which wouldn't make sense from the front, but for some reason it looks correct from this angle. Here, let's make it even more extreme. Look at this. So this still looks correct, right? But when you look at it from the front, that's what it looks like. There's so many view-dependent shape keys here, which I think is something relatively new for them. This one, for example, it flips the direction of her eyelashes, and that makes it look better from this view angle, and it looks weird from the front when you do this. I think this is a natural progression of 3D anime models because essentially we're taking a 2D art style, which is always breaking the rules, and for the most part we try to fit them into a one-size-fits-all mesh. But yeah, that's another reason it's good to keep the individual lashes disconnected, not tied down to the main lash geometry. Much cleaner when it comes to the shape keys. Summarizing aemeath, they've raised the bar again with her. How much longer can they keep doing this? Everything about her model feels premium. Overall silhouette, immaculate. Textures, hitting. Animations, hitting. Body, completely disintegrated actually for being lore accurate. Fingers, slightly crooked, just the way it should be. I don't know, there's something about this new gathered wife. She feels really valuable when you've acquired her. The combined effort used to create her and pack her with all of these features must have been immense. But it's fitting of a Sentinel equivalent character, and they've always delivered on these so far. I didn't even get to dive much into her mech side, which is a shame. She's kinda... All in all, this character is so good. Mornier still clears though. Am I wrong for that? Like, I'd still pick Mornier. It's demon time. If you delete her heart mesh, there is an indent there. Ooh, that looks painful. Ugh. I've seen enough. Welcome back, Tony Stark. Thank you for watching my video. For that, you will always be my GOAT. Take care, have yourselves a good night, or perhaps watch another video on my channel for more 3D modeling content.